Oh, greetings, Commanders. Today we are doing the gem video. Um, Gems are a big subject. They were released into the game about 8 months ago or so, and gems let you augment your abilities. And there is a little bit of knowledge that needs to be covered for the late game meta. But unfortunately, this video is going to be mostly just the beginner stuff. So anyone looking for the advanced stuff, you'll have to pick and choose what part of this video is useful for you. I'm going to try and keep it short and concise. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. So let's start it off. So first things first, you can only put gems in legendary items. You can only put them in purple items. You can't put them in yellow items. And each legendary item can have one gem naturally. So the Eye of the Abyss is an accuracy weapon or an accuracy headpiece that you get from an equipment event where you have to go to the A store and buy a reagent that costs 1,800 chips. But once you have it, you have the ability to augment a slot just like everything else. And you'll notice I have 2 slots here, and that's because I use one of the spirit gems to add a secondary gem slot. So you'll see here energy stones say they can activate an additional star jewel slot. And what that does is if you can get 3 items out of your 4 to have a spirit stone augment, you can have, instead of 1 full 4 set of gems, you can have 2 full 4 sets. And what I mean by that is that once you click information here, you'll see that the Eye of Abyss has a Leo gem, Leo 4. If you have a 2-set bonus, there is a total attack increase of 30%. This only occurs once, no matter how many different Leo gems you have. It's just you get the 2-set bonus and it only occurs once. If you have the 4-set bonus, something special happens. You receive the Leo power, and that gives you a 20% chance to trigger an attack that will hit and disregard enemies' 60% defense. It's only triggered by walkers. Now, of course, we'll get into that here in a second, but that's what I mean. You can have a 2-piece set, and if you have all 4, like I do of the Gemini of this set, I get the total attack increase, and all troops, not just airships or walkers, get to do a guaranteed hit and a follow-up guaranteed hit. That just hit for the base damage. Although that seems really strong, double strike seems really good, it doesn't hit nearly as hard as 1 Leo strike. 1 Leo strike hits harder than 2 Gemini strikes. And you'll see that if someone's rocking Leo and Scorpio and Sagittarius, when those trigger, they hit 3 to 4 times harder. And I don't know if it's because the wording is bad in this game, but you can do things that shouldn't be possible. You can have less walker troops attack into an airship commander, and even if they have 30% more troops on the airship side, and even though walker has a disadvantage, you will see if one of those gems trigger, they will one-shot a Rogers stack. So they are very useful in 1-slot buzz formations and an absolute must. But let's talk about the gems themselves. Okay, there are 4 gem types, and this is how you remember it. 1 is for your weapon. 2 is for your chest piece. 3 is for your legs. 4 is for your head. I kind of do like a 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. You know, just 1 for the hand, 2 for the chest, 3 for the legs, 4 for the head. Easy peasy, right? Okay. Your weapons, since they're the same slot and you get 2 of them, you can put 1 of each type. You can, as long as you have 1 that's Gemini and Gemini in the rest of your slots, this one could be whatever you want it to be. And most people will choose this one to be whatever they're going for the 2 set. So if you only have if you don't have any spirit stones, so you only get to put 1 gem in each item, well, you can get all 4 from your head, weapon, and chest and legs. You have this extra one here. You can decide later on, like, I think I'm going to put Libra here because I want to have tear suppression later on, which is a very solid choice in how people do gems. So if you get a second spirit stone, you can even do more with it. You can also decide that you can go for a full set. Like, see here I have that full set of 4-piece Gemini. If you decide you want, you can go for 4-piece Leo as well, or you can go for 2-piece of Taurus to get strength and weakened effect or resistance weakened effect, and then 2 more pieces of something else if you don't want to go for a full 4 set. And normally you think that that's a bad idea. You should always go for the full 4 set, but not necessarily, and I'm going to tell you why. So all of the gems have unique stats. Well, actually, let's clarify that. Let's go to the gem book and I'll show you what I mean. There are the entry-level legendary gems. So we have a handbook here. We'll go to the handbook, and it shows each gem type for each class. 1, 2, 3, 4 for infantry. This is the infantry one. This is the base one. And then there is the walker one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the airship one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Gemini, the all commanders, right? So those are the basic gems. Then there's the legendary gems. In the legendary gems, you get Libra, which is all soldiers. And then you've got Pisces, which is infantry. And you've got Leo, which is walker, and you've got Cancer, which is airship. Now, if you have tier 9 or higher, those troops can use multiple gem types. So normally infantry can only trigger infantry gems, but if you have, let's say, tier 9 airships, you'll see in the top left there, instead of it just being red, or the triangle in the top left, right where it says Genesis up there, it's red and blue. So airships can actually trigger walker troops. So if you wanted to use Taurus or Leo with your airships, you could. But remember that if you decide you want to farm with tier 1 or tier 2, airships only do airship for the smaller troops. But the high tier stuff, you could mix it up a little bit, and it does play a role later on. Okay, so what I want to talk about is buying the gems. So acquiring the gems in the first place. The best place to get gems is during like gold events. They always seem to give away just a pack of gems. Here we go. We got some random Gemini chest here, random Libra chest. They really like to give away Libra and Gemini because they work with all soldier types, and it makes it so they're not, playing a favorite anywhere. It does kind of make it difficult for them to balance out. Should we give infantry the cheapest, acquire, or should we give it to airship? So whenever they're not sure, they just throw Gemini and Libra because it works for everyone and no one can complain. But during the weekday, you can go into your Ace shop by going to the world map here. And we go to Ace Store here, the Versus button. And in the store, oh, don't do that. Oh, we totally blew it. Okay. Go back. I click the help button. All right, so now we click Store. And you will see that there are a couple of things to buy. Most of these things are not affordable. Honestly, if you can get 3,600 chips, don't buy Lilith. I mean, it takes a lot to get 3,600. Cohen is so easy to get and just release 10. Don't waste your metals on that. Save it for the Eye of the Abyss. It's a really good item, or buying gems if you need them. So in the store on the weekends, right now it's currently the kill event, so I get to choose a random Sagittarius. I'm guaranteed that if I open this chest, I will get a Sagittarius. This one is I will get a Scorpio, and I will get a Taurus. And then in the fourth one is Libra. So I will get a legendary Libra instead of Gemini. Gemini you'd expect to be there, but it's not. I don't currently have one of my factions at Revered, so I don't have the option to purchase the faction-specific gem. I'm going to Magiwell, so I think mine is Cancer coming up. But I was Nixaw, which is Pisces, and it goes off the commander. So if the main commander of the faction is Raymond, an airship commander, the legendary gem in the Ace store will always be the legendary gem, which is Cancer for airships. And then Leo for walkers if you have Voltar, and then Pisces for infantry if you have Nixaw. But I don't have those right now, so that doesn't show in this video. But when that happens, you can buy those every 12 hours. Once you buy one, you have to wait 12 hours. Unlike these, you can buy as many as you want right now, but those ones, they make you wait 12 hours. Honestly, that used to be a problem like when they first launched, but as you find out that you only want to put these gems into your items when they're above 20% of their stats, because they're going to be there for a long time, and if you want to replace them, you have to permanently damage them. So is there anything else I need to cover there? Yes, throughout the week, these change every day. So during the weekday, you'll see like random jewelry 1, and that means that you are going to pay 400 for this jewel. You're going to get it, you're going to open the chest, and whatever it is, you're guaranteed it's going to be a weapon. But you don't know if it's going to be Sagittarius or Scorpio or Taurus. I don't know if they can be legendary gems. They might be able to be legendary gems like Leo and Cancer and Pisces, but for sure you will get a weapon. So if you know you just need a gem in your weapon slot, you can just go buy it on the weekend, or buy it during whatever day it is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Each one changes. I forget what Friday is. Might be these 3, but they does change daily, so check on it if you're looking for a specific gem in a specific slot. Okay, so let's jump into specific gems for slots. So as you will see, I have a Leo gem in the first slot because it gives me accuracy. No other gem can do accuracy in the head slot, and because I run a heavy accuracy gear for my bullet here, I need that accuracy more than anything else. I would sacrifice anything for that accuracy. So because of that, I just give away a potential 4-stat bonus because of how important that accuracy is to my build. So yeah, in your pants, the only way to get dodge in your pants is Pisces and I want to say Libra, maybe Sagittarius. So the infantry and Libra can do dodge in your pants. But Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Cancer, and whatever. They cannot. Gemini cannot. So we're going to jump into that stuff real quick and show you what I mean. Weapons is always attack, crit, or accuracy, which are common amongst all. I don't think there's a unique stat there. It's always attack, accuracy, or crit. And then your chest piece is always HP or defense. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Star Jewel Augment set. And I'm trying to speed this video up, guys. I know these are long videos, but I'm trying to cover it all in one and done. I don't want to come back and make 4 or 5 of these videos talking about every potential thing. So bear with me a second. So we will go into Star Jewel. We will choose. Let's start with a chest piece. There's their HP. Oop. Let's do an inlay there. Let's see. That one says HP for Gemini. So for Sagittarius, we got HP, defense, as expected. I don't have any dodge for chest, of course. Once again, that Taurus is HP. I don't have any defense for Taurus, but I'm sure it's there. So defense, HP, defense. All for chest pieces, just HP, defense, HP, defense, HP, defense. And I'm going to go through this for everyone. If you already know how this works, just skip this part of the video. But for newbies that are searching what gems are the best and they don't have a lot to choose from, they can look through mine and realize, okay, he definitely confirmed that there isn't dodge or whatever mechanic they're looking for, or attack or anything like that on chest pieces. On chest pieces, it's only HP and defense. I haven't found otherwise, and I don't believe there is otherwise. So let's go to Star Jewel on our headpiece now. And let's see what we have. We have definitely attack, crit, defense, accuracy. Okay, so we can get accuracy off the Taurus gems. I think I did know that, but Leo was my best one. So accuracy, attack, crit, HP. This is all for the headpiece. All for the headpiece here. HP still. Lots of Gemini. They are easy to get. Okay, so you can get attack on the headpiece as well through Gemini. And crit on the headpiece as well. And I'm looking for dodge or something else from Gemini. I don't think we get it. So that's it. Now you'll notice these are like 10%. I don't need Gemini gems right now. I'm not hurting for any piece of gear I have. But if I needed to, I would repurpose. Anything under 15%, I could repurpose it. And we'll do repurposing next. Hopefully I don't forget. Here we go into Libra. I have a lot of the. Oh, not anymore. I used to have a lot of these. So these are only HP and defense, but I do think there are more options here. You can put in the comments below or check the comments. Someone might have added in. This is Pisces, so this is an important piece. Attack to your headpiece. It is very crucial for Plasma, the X, and Stella, who do one-slot bust formations, which is the most common thing against the current meta, like, you know, Rogers and Golems. Instead of risking a whole army, you just do all troops in slot 1 and you just try to Mysterious Wind through. Mysterious Wind, or, what's that? Wings of Eternity. But yeah, so Pisces will give you dodge for a defensive spec on the headpiece, or attack. And attack is probably the best way to go in a headpiece because it's a rare stat to get. You can only get it on your weapons. So if you can get attack on your headpiece, that's good. Crit is not so useful as you get research mastery. I think crit kind of gets overdone. It just gets, you always crit anyway. So I think crit bonus damage from Magiwell and the Eye of Abyss headpiece and legs are better than these gems. The gems haven't really been fully explored, but we do know that general rule attack is safe to choose. Crit is kind of sketchy. Anyway, so the Cancer gems in your headpiece, back to what we were talking about, you can get crit and attack. That's great. Remember, Cancer works with all types. And HP and probably defense, but not dodge. Probably defense. So HP, attack, and crit. Maybe more on Cancer. I just don't have that many to choose from. We're getting there, guys. We're getting down to, let's see, weapons. We can do, I think it's always attack, accuracy, and crit on weapons. I don't want to get too excited here. I know it's attack, accuracy, and crit. Pretty darn sure you're not going to see anything like defense or HP on the weapons. So yeah, that's correct. Okay. And the last one is leggings. And this one's interesting because you can get dodge from the infantry commanders, and I think that's it. So here's the walkers, Sagittarius, and that's just, oh, Sagittarius. Okay, I'm sorry. Taurus does have dodge option, and airship has dodge. So maybe they did have dodge that whole time. I just didn't have them when I was originally learning this stuff. So it looks like for the pants you can get dodge, defense, and HP. So I don't remember seeing them for Gemini. Let's see if I'm wrong there too. It'd be cool if it was just universal. Yeah, dodge for everything. All right, so the dodge stat. Okay, so weapons. I'm sorry. Weapons is accuracy, crit, and attack. Pants is HP, dodge, and defense on all gem types. The thalamus is what varies. Thalamus is what varies. And that is what says you can have different stats like attack, crit, or HP, defense. It just depends on the jewel set. So Yeah, we can run through these real quick just to show people who are watching this video for the, exploring gems for the first time. Okay, so we have covered buying from Ace. We have covered what the gem's stats are. We have covered the 4-piece bonuses a little bit. I'm going to go into that in a second. And we're going to do repurposing. Okay, let's talk repurposing. So you know those weak gems that are only 10 to 15%. Remember, these are permanent. They go up to 30%. The stats can vary from 10 to 30. If it's less than 20% and it's on one of your best pieces of gear, just re-roll it. The re-roll is expensive, but it's not that bad. And once you insert that gem, it's there forever. You can't get it back. It gets destroyed if you replace it. Repurposing, it may take you a few weeks to get the right one, but it is worth doing. So you'll see here, it says Star Jewel, bulk sell, repurpose, or bulk repurpose. I'm going to bulk repurpose. Click that button there. Choose which Star Jewels to repurpose. I'm just going to go down and grab a couple of them that I know that I'm definitely never going to use. So there's an accuracy 10, there's an accuracy 10, and there's an accuracy 11. I'm going to repurpose 3 gems, and it's going to say it's 190K, no, 240K gas, 240K electricity, and 3 crystals, the faction crystals each. Which is, it's expensive, but I will pay it. Geez, I'll just pay the gold. All right, so they repurpose, and they come back as chess pieces. So I go over here, and now we have, well, I had 5 already, so I have 3 more. And you just open them up and see what you get. A random Gemini. So you're not guaranteed to get a chess piece or legs or head. You're just guaranteed to get a Gemini. So keep that in mind. If you're repurposing a chess piece, trying to get another chess piece, you're not guaranteed to get a chess piece. Okay, now that we've covered the basics of gems, as a general rule, going for at least 1 guaranteed hit skill on your gems is a must. Unless your commander really doesn't care about accuracy, like maybe some guys that go like Chief or Moonshadow who already have a ton of accuracy and they're walkers and they have guaranteed hit skills. As a general rule, you should probably get at least 1 guaranteed hit. And on your main commander, the one that you always use the same troops with, the one you always get in the biggest fights with, you probably don't want to use Gemini. Even though Gemini is the most common, and you probably have better stats in your Gemini Jewels just because you get more rolls on them, generally they are just not as good as, I mean, it's a win more skill. Double strike is a win more skill. It doesn't overcome, it doesn't over adapt, it doesn't make walkers have a fair fight against airships like Leo can do with Taurus gems. Leo and Taurus gems can do. Sagittarius gems hit really hard. Scorpio gems hit really hard. Gemini just kind of a weak double strike. It's really, when you compare Gemini to Scorpio, it's kind of like comparing Raymond to Golem. Raymond's double strike guaranteed hit skill is really cool, but he is not on the same level as Golem because Golem hits so much harder with that 1 single strike. So think of it like that. And we'll talk about the Cancer gem because I think that one just keeps coming back to my mind. I want to get it off my chest here. Cancer is a airship. No, it's all troop types. Okay, it is an airship. And it says that airships can trigger this until the activator's next attack, 20%. All of our troops' defense increases by 100%. That is not damage is reduced by 100% like Roger's skill or Pisces. That is just defense is increased. Well, Eternal Barrier gives you like 50% bonus defense. 2 Eternal Barriers is 100% bonus defense. You could socket 2 gems to get another 30 or 60% bonus defense. So even though Cancer's really good at adding 100% bonus defense, it's really not that good overall. But the reason people use this gem is because Rogers needs to survive 1, 2, and 3. And then Rogers, if Rogers survives attacks 1, 2, and 3 from his opponent, he goes immune on the 4th or 5th trigger of his defensive stack, and then he becomes unbeatable. This gem, or the Pisces gem, are really what makes Roger, oh geez, we lost our lighting. What makes Roger so powerful, but not a lot of Rogers use tier 9 infantry, and you need tier 9 infantry to trigger Pisces, while Cancer works with airships, and Rogers usually has at least tier 1, tier 2 airships, usually tier 9 in big fights. So that's why you see Cancer. It's very good, but as far as gems are concerned, overall it's probably one of the worst gems, but because of how useful it is for Rogers, who's the best commander in the game, that's why you see it so prevalent. The next one of mention is Pisces. Pisces is cool because infantry really lacks defense. You can't get a good defensive infantry commander. The best thing you get is like a dodge commander like Plasma or Rita, but no infantry really buffs their defense and HP. I mean, you have some weird trade-offs like Raiden and, oh god, there's not a lot. There's really not a lot. So they build they basically try to avoid everything, avoid by just dodging. Well, this one says, hey, we're just going to reduce damage received by 100%, like Roger's skill. No matter how hard they get hit, if they have this up for one turn, it'll just take it all and just absorb it and dump it. So it's really powerful in that regard, but it's only a 20%. However, because the X and Stella have those continue to re-trigger their skills with Wings of Eternity. If you haven't seen the Stella and X videos and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch this because you are skipping fundamentals here. You need to know that when those characters trigger those skills, they get to go again. And when they go again, they can re-trigger their skills, including the skill that lets them go again. I mean, there is a cap there. You can only go 4 or 5 times, and then it automatically stops you. But you can keep re-triggering all your gems, including Pisces, which makes her go immune. Which means that if you're Stella and you want to take all of your best troops and put them in one slot and not risk any other troops in any other slots because you'll lose the fight or you don't want to risk them because you don't know what you're going into, and you put them all in slot 1, once you start to attack, you may potentially trigger this, and if you do get hit really hard, you might avoid losing all of your troops because you got a lucky trigger, and it's higher than 20% on Stella because she has a 60% to trigger it again. So Pisces and Cancer are very unique to Stella and Rogers because of how good they are in the in-game meta. And of course, remember other commanders like Black and other defensive commanders. Who am I forgetting? Galileo, Grievous. They could do okay with Cancer, but really, I mean, those commanders we're not talking about because they're just not the end game. Those are commanders that'll get you to the end game. So Pisces for Stella, but when you go Pisces, you do sacrifice the potential to hit with another gem. So Stella will already have, probably Sagittarius because it's such a hard-hitting gem. But she also wants to trigger Pisces to go immune. But if you're Stella balls to the wall and you don't care about losing troops, then you would go maybe Sagittarius and Scorpio because tier 9 infantry on Stella are the hardest hitting, or infantry is the hardest hitting troop, and they can trigger airships. So Scorpio Sagittarius is the hardest glass cannon build for Stella, but Pisces gives her that potential to avoid taking a huge hit from a Golem or Rogers that she knows she's going into and not having to heal her troops. And if you've ever healed 100 tier 5 plus, you know how painful that is. And once you get your commander to 20,000 plus leadership, you do not want to heal that many troops. So it's a gamble. This game's a dice roll sometimes. And sometimes it's better to go for the damage and break through the slot, or go for a little more defense and risk not breaking through but surviving the hit. So that's up to you. Okay, as far as the remaining gems are concerned, you have your Leo, which is your Walker power hit, right? 40% or 20% chance to disregard 60% bonus defense buff. Listen, it says 60% defense buff, so they don't tell us how the math works. Let me just tell you, just assume this is going to hit as hard as Golem's Crush. Like, it's just going to hit so much harder than anything else in the game. It's overpowered in that regard because it doesn't tell you how powerful it is. It used to be 100% defense buff, but Lurgo hit Vera really hard like 3 months ago, and all of a sudden they got nerfed 40%. But they still hit really hard. So don't sleep on Leo. Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Taurus is the worst. Actually, we'll talk about Taurus now. So yeah, that's a hard-hitting one. Sagittarius ignores 60% HP. Basically the same thing. A little bit different because defense helps damage mitigation, but treat it the same way because the math is too hard to explain. And then, of course, this one, Scorpio, basic attack increases 60%. Not attack damage, basic attack. So it scales differently, like Golem's Crush compared to Chief's Rampage ability. Watch that video if you haven't seen that. That's important. It's substantially different. The damage is much bigger. But yeah, that's why Scorpio hits so hard, because it increases its base damage. Taurus, on the other hand, it says damage will increase. It's literally like your weapons give you, like your Thalamus can give you 100% bonus damage, and it's great, and your weapon's great, but it doesn't hit as hard as the attack modifier for damage is different than the attack modifier for attack. So although Taurus is good, I don't put it on the same level as Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Leo. More research is warranted, but treat it better. It's better than Gemini, but not necessarily as good as Leo. The 2-set bonus makes your resistance matchup better. This is more of like a Galileo when he knows he's going to get attacked by airships. He's good to have, that 2-set skill. So if you decide you don't want to take the risk and go for Cancer, 4-piece Cancer, you might decide you want to go for 2-piece Taurus and 2-piece something else. I didn't really cover the 20% skills, and although they are useful, you can kind of look at them and use them at your discretion. Libra is the one of mention I do need to point out. This has the highest tear suppression, the cheapest way to get 10% tear suppression. If you haven't seen the tear suppression video on how to calculate it, 10 is very high and it's very cheap. And if you know that you're attacking into a lower tier, you absolutely have to use tear suppression, at least 2-piece Libra, to get that set bonus because of how useful that is. Don't overlook what I just said and be like, oh, he's talking about something I don't know about. You need to know about tear suppression and how 2-piece Libra works. I run it on all my commanders, so if ever I have to use tier 9 against anyone who doesn't have tier 9, I demolish them. So that pretty much covers the gems. We covered buying from Ace, we covered best in slot, we covered the 2-piece, the 4-piece. Yeah, we covered repurposing. So, I mean, that pretty much covers all of gems for now. If something I said was unclear, ask in the comments below. If you're new to our community, subscribe to our channel. If you're not on Line, L-I-N-E, the Line communication app, it's like text messaging for gamers. It's less invasive as an actual text message or phone call. Get online, add me, Melt.AOW. I will invite you to our inner server community where you can interact with other players who play the game and talk about it. I encourage you to get your guild on it. You can also share notes and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for putting stuff in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. All right, we'll see you on the next one.